Welcome everybody to the class today. I know it's been a little bit since I made a video. I started working again for a local WIC and working with moms again, which I've been very much enjoying. It has limited my time and so I haven't been able to make any videos. I've been thinking a lot about what videos to put out there for you guys. A lot of times we prepare, we get pregnant, especially for our first baby. We get pregnant, we are thinking of all the beautiful things of having this new baby. Feeding the baby, dressing the baby, holding the baby. You know, this baby now being a part of our lives and changing our lives and being a mother. And although it might be real, it's still like a form of expectation. And when that baby comes, sometimes we can feel disappointed because things aren't going exactly the way we expected them to. I wanted to talk a little bit about breastfeeding, especially at night. The nighttime seem to be the hardest time to latch. They seem to be the most frustrating time for the baby. The baby seems a lot more frustrated, a lot more vocal and crying more and just very dissatisfied. One of the first things I explain to moms when I see them is that, you know, we always hear the days and nights. They have their days and nights mixed. And one of the best ways to explain that is to think about while they were in your stomach, when you were awake and moving around and doing things, it was as if you were rocking your baby to sleep. So your baby slept most of the time that you were awake, and that's during the day. Then at night, when you no longer were moving around and you were laying in one position, that's when the baby would wake up. And so it is very normal for a baby to be awake at night and sleeping throughout the day. A tip to help with nighttime, you know, those nighttime feedings or the constant wakefulness at night, eventually they will switch. But some tips, one of the things I tell moms all the time is the best thing that you can do is keep lights dim at night. Do not engage your baby at night. Don't do a lot of talking. When you talk to your baby, whisper. Just try not to do a lot of talking and engaging the baby at night. Do what you need to do. Feed, change diaper, you know, that's it. Then during the day, when the baby wakes up, that's when you're going to engage the baby. That's when you're going to talk to your baby. You're going to, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, you know, talking to your baby, reading to your baby, playing with your baby. You're going to do those things during the day. So every time they're awake during the day, you're going to do your best to engage them. Of course, you'll feed them, you'll change their diaper, and that's when you will talk with them. That's when you will, you know, sing to them and just engaging them. At night, you will not do that. And that will kind of help your baby to see the difference, to kind of learn the difference between days and nights. You don't have to wake your baby more. You can try to wake the baby more during the day so that they'll sleep more at night. But it is normal for those first few weeks for the baby to be up a lot at night. And you have to understand that your hormones, which is how your body works, it's how your breast milk is made, is through hormones. Two hormones in particular, and prolactin, which produces milk, is the highest at night. So that milk producing hormone is the highest at night. And so when your baby's feeding at night, that is good for your milk production. Oxytocin is what releases milk. And oxytocin is very important. If you are extremely stressed and anxious, you could have milk in your breast and yet your milk will not release because of the stress and anxiety you're feeling. If you notice sometimes when you breastfeed, you tend to feel more tired, you can begin to feel very relaxed, and that is when that oxytocin is releasing. and that calms you, relaxes you. And some women don't like that feeling, and some, you know, maybe they don't even notice that feeling. But oxytocin is has a calming, relaxing feeling, and that's what we need in order for our milk to release. So those two hormones are very, very important for milk production. So the reality of having a newborn is that they will be awake at night more, and they will sleep more during the day. When we give them bottles, whether it be bottles of formula or bottles of breast milk at night, and maybe you say, okay, well, they slept more when I gave them a bottle. That is true. If we overfill them, we give them too much all at once, then they can tend to sleep longer. But a baby's stomach in the first few days does not have the capacity to stretch. But by day 3 to 5, it can begin to stretch a little bit. And then by 2 weeks old, the stomach can stretch a little bit. And this is good in one way. You know, it helps them hold that milk and helps them to be satisfied a little bit longer. But the negative side to that is overfeeding. And if you're using a bottle, no matter what is in that bottle, you can overfeed your baby. And overfeeding them can induce sleep. So whether it's breast milk or it's formula, you can overfeed a baby through a bottle. So it's really important to understand how to bottle feed. We call it paced bottle feeding. If you are going to do bottle feeding, you want to make it as similar to the breast as possible. And so I recommend checking out my video on paced breastfeeding, but you can also find some very good videos that really show what paced bottle feeding looks like. And this will help keep the baby from preferring a bottle over the breast. So the reality, again, is the babies will be awake more at night. They will cry more at night. The struggle of latching, for some reason, happens the most at night. The most stressful part of feeding seems to be at night. I don't know what it is, why it is that way, but that, for some reason, is a struggle during the day. And maybe it's just because of the fact that they're more awake during the day. So they're more alert, and they don't necessarily, maybe they want more stimulation, but we want to teach them the difference between nights and days, and we don't want to over-engage them. And remembering that crying is their way of communication. So it can be many different things. Spitting up is normal. The only time you need to worry about spitting up is if they begin to lose weight over it. They're not going through their diapers like they should. So that is normal. Again, that's a reality. They're going to spit up a lot. It will be worse, if they overeat through a bottle. It smells worse if it's formula. But overall, spitting up is very normal for a breastfed baby. I just really wanted to talk about what to expect. And when your milk increases by day 3 to 5, and it can be sooner when it's, your second or third or fourth baby, your breasts will feel fuller and they will be more painful. But once your milk adjusts to your baby's needs, your breasts will go back to feeling the way they felt before. That does not mean that your milk is gone. The only time that you will ever feel uncomfortable and painful, breasts being extremely full, is if you are missing feeds. If the baby misses a feed and you don't get that milk out, that's when you will feel that engorgement. But if you're feeding on demand, so your breasts will fill up and feel warm and full when it's time to feed the baby, and then in between feeds they will feel completely normal. And that is the reality of the way that the breast works. Sometimes a mom can say, okay, the baby's emptied my breast, there's nothing left in there. The body is always making milk, So it's never completely empty, but it doesn't always have it ready the amount the baby needs. It adjusts it according to the baby. So that is normal. The other thing that's very normal is the second day of life, they are very unhappy. They cry a lot, and they seem like they're just not satisfied with anything. A lot of times moms think that this is because they don't have enough milk or their milk hasn't come in yet. But it's just the way it is on the second day of life. They're, put into this world and it's all new and they're just not happy. Well, the reason I bring that up is because at 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, it can happen at 8 weeks, 3 months, and then again at 6 months, babies will go through growth spurts. And during those growth spurts, it can happen for a couple of days where they will act just like they did on that second day of life. They're just not happy. A lot of skin to skin and holding your baby will help through those growth spurts. Letting them feed as much as they want, even if the breast feels empty. This is their way of increasing your supply. They may not be happy with the amount that was in there, and they may want more. But if we give a bottle, the body won't know to make more. So you have to allow the baby to breastfeed, even when they've emptied the breast, so that the body knows to make more for the baby. So the more that baby sucks on an empty breast, it tells the body, okay, that we need more. We need to make more. And so for those couple of days, the baby tends to be a little more fussy. They're very unhappy with the breast. They're pulling at the breast. It seems like they're unhappy with you. Just breastfeed on demand. Just do a lot of skin to skin. Do everything you can to calm them, and your breast milk, your milk supply will increase and will fulfill their need. They're not in any way starving during that time period. They just are trying to increase the supply, and that's fine and that's normal, and you do not need to pull out a bottle during this time. They're not starving, and they will not starve. The body is making what they need, but they are increasing it, and that's fine. Once that milk increases and once that growth spurt passes, they will be fine. They have also done studies that show that the baby tends to be a little bit in pain during that time, possibly some growing pains. So when a baby is in pain, they tend to want to breastfeed. They want the comfort of breastfeeding. So that it can be another reason why they breastfeed a lot. They want to be held a lot during those growth spurts. So I just wanted to talk again about these realities, that these things do not mean that something is wrong or that you did something wrong or that somehow things aren't going right for you. The first 6 weeks can be very difficult. They can be very challenging, and you just need to expect that this could happen. This is normal. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to know the tools of how to know your baby's getting enough, and knowing what to expect, and knowing that this is normal. If the baby's gaining weight and if they're going through diapers, then your milk supply is fine. You just keep doing what you're doing and don't overly worry. So hopefully that this video helps a little bit, and I hope that I can get out some more videos soon. I have a couple different topics I would like to put out, so when I get the chance, I have 2 days off during the week, so when I can, I'm going to try to put out a video during that time period. Again, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so that you know when I do put out a video, because they're not necessarily going to be every week. And so you're going to want to know when those videos come out. And if you hit the subscribe button and you hit the notification bell, you will be notified when a video comes out. And definitely go through and look at all my old videos, because there's so many videos I've put out talking about a variety of subjects. So if you have a question about something, most likely I have a video on it. If you have a request for something, please feel free to comment below, and I will do the best I can. I do want to do a live video again soon, and hopefully I'll be able to do that eventually. So I I hope that the video helps you guys, and congratulations for those of you that have had a baby recently. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to comment below. So I will see you guys soon in my next video, and you guys have a great day.